General Hospital spoilers tease that Drew Kane seems to be heading straight toward a major downfall. With his business ventures and personal life teetering on the edge, it's unclear whether Drew can recover from the series of decisions he's made that have now put him in jeopardy. His fall from grace might not be entirely unexpected, given his troubled past and the ever-present tension in his relationship with the Corinthos family. As the stakes rise, Drew finds himself caught between loyalty to his family and the destructive forces of ambition. His downfall is shaping up to be one of the most dramatic arcs in General Hospital, as viewers are left wondering whether he will rise again or be consumed by his own mistakes. There is certainly much more to unravel with Drew's character, and his journey is far from over. Sasha's pregnancy dilemma, a future shaped by heartbreak or hope. Sasha Gilmore's future is uncertain, especially with her pregnancy weighing heavily on her. After the tragic loss of baby Liam Corbin, the emotional scars left on Sasha have made it difficult for her to even consider the possibility of carrying another child. She is torn between the overwhelming fear of suffering another devastating loss and the hope that this new pregnancy could be a fresh start. To make matters more complicated, Sasha faces decisions about whether to share her pregnancy news with those around her, including Michael Corinthos and Willow Tate Corinthos. The pressure of maintaining a facade of normalcy while dealing with such a personal issue will undoubtedly affect her relationships. As her story unfolds, viewers can expect Sasha to experience deep moments of doubt and reflection, as she weighs the cost of love, loss, and the future. Trina and Kai, the growing connection that could change everything. On a more hopeful note, General Hospital fans can look forward to more screen time for Trina Robinson and Kai Taylor. The budding connection between them is starting to gain traction, and Trina might just find something worth investing in if she gives Kai a chance. Despite her past relationship challenges and the turmoil that surrounds her, Trina is beginning to see Kai in a different light. His gentleness and understanding could be exactly what she needs at this moment in her life, especially as she navigates the complexities of family and career. However, Trina is cautious, and viewers will be watching closely to see if she allows herself to be vulnerable enough to embrace a potential relationship. With Kai proving himself to be more than just a passing acquaintance, Trina's journey could lead her to unexpected happiness or heartbreak. The mystery of Sam McCall's overdose, could Elizabeth be exonerated? The tension surrounding Sam McCall's mysterious overdose continues to build. Lucky Spencer, determined to get to the truth, is digging into the circumstances of Sam's death, which could unravel everything those close to her thought they knew. With suspicions swirling about a potential homicide, Lucky's investigation into the overdose might uncover critical evidence that could clear Elizabeth Liz Baldwin and the nurses who were initially implicated in the tragedy. However, there's also a chance that his findings could confirm the worst, that someone intentionally killed Sam. This twist could throw the entire hospital into disarray, and its effects on those involved would be far-reaching. Viewers can expect an intense, emotional journey as Lucky uncovers the dark truths that lie hidden beneath the surface, especially with the stakes so high for those accused of being involved. Dante Falconeri and Sam McCall, grief and sacrifice collide. As General Hospital fans continue to watch Dante Falconeri's emotional journey, his grief over Sam McCall's sacrifice looms large. Though Sam's decision to take drastic action was filled with love and selflessness, it leaves Dante in a state of profound sorrow. The weight of losing someone so close to him is taking a toll on Dante, and as he grapples with the aftermath, his emotional struggles will only intensify. Sam's sacrifice wasn't just a heroic act, it was a deeply personal one that speaks to her dedication and her love for those she holds dear. As Dante deals with the loss, his grief will undoubtedly take center stage, offering fans a raw and intimate look at how he processes such a devastating event. As this storyline unfolds, expect moments of deep reflection and heartache as Dante seeks to find meaning in Sam's choice and how he moves forward in the wake of her selfless act. Lulu's shocking return, a woman out of time. In a jaw-dropping twist, Lulu Spencer has escaped from Turning Woods and is now re-entering the world she left behind, without any memory of the 4 years that have passed. She has no idea that she has been in a coma for such an extended period. This creates a situation rife with shock and disorientation for Lulu, who is simply eager to return to the life she once knew. However, when she steps through the door of her home, she is met with a series of shocking revelations. Rocco Falconeri, her son, has grown up immensely, and Lulu struggles to process just how much time has passed. She is also in for a shock when she learns that Charlotte Cassadine is missing, last seen with her fugitive father, Valentine Cassadine. Adding to the turmoil, Lulu will soon uncover the devastating news of Luke Spencer's death. As she begins to piece together the pieces of her fractured past, Lulu will also learn about the sacrifices made by Sam McCall and the grief that Dante Falconeri is enduring. This return is sure to bring about significant emotional upheaval for Lulu as she comes to terms with the new reality she faces. Molly Lansing Davis's worry: will Christina's testimony help Ava? Amidst the tension surrounding Ava Jerome's trial, Molly Lansing Davis finds herself torn between her duty and her family. Her sister, Christina Corinthos Davis, may be called to testify, and though the two have their issues, Molly worries about the potential consequences. Christina's testimony could play a pivotal role in Ava's acquittal, but Molly fears that if this happens, her sister will never forgive herself. The moral dilemma weighing on Molly is heavy, as she is caught between her loyalty to her family and the implications of Christina's actions. This internal conflict will continue to drive Molly's character, as viewers witness the toll it takes on her relationship with both Christina and her own sense of justice. Rick Lansing's confidence: will Ava Jerome be acquitted? The drama surrounding Ava Jerome's trial reaches its peak as Rick Lansing, her attorney, expresses complete confidence that she will be acquitted. Rick is counting on Christina's testimony to help secure this outcome, believing that Christina's words will tip the scales in Ava's favor. However, the stakes are high, and not everyone is convinced that things will go smoothly. While Rick's optimism is palpable, the path to Ava's acquittal is anything but certain. As the trial unfolds, viewers will see how Rick navigates the complex legal and emotional challenges surrounding the case. The ultimate outcome of Ava's trial could have far-reaching consequences for many characters, especially as it intersects with the deep-seated familial tensions that threaten to tear apart the Corinthos family. Lucky Spencer's struggle for purpose, a turning point in Port Charles. Lucky Spencer's return to Port Charles has been marked by uncertainty and inner conflict. Once a pivotal figure in the town, Lucky now finds himself questioning his place in a world that feels increasingly foreign. His internal turmoil has been exacerbated by the inability to save his sister, Lulu Spencer, by donating a life-saving liver. This failure, combined with his overwhelming sense of guilt, has left Lucky grappling with a profound lack of purpose. For a time, he even entertained the idea of leaving Port Charles behind for good, considering an offer from Jack Brennan to return to Africa with the WSB, World Security Bureau. Africa, with its inherent dangers and the sense of a fresh start, seemed like the perfect place for a man who had lost his way. However, just as he was ready to leave, Lucky received a call from his nephew, Lucas Jones, with news that would change everything. Elizabeth Weber, the woman Lucky has always held dear, needed his support more than ever. This call pulled Lucky back from the edge of his decision, reigniting his sense of duty. Little did he know, this return to Port Charles would not only put him face to face with his past but also lead him into a dangerous investigation that could uncover startling truths. Elizabeth Weber in hot water, the shocking autopsy results. As if the weight of Lucky's return wasn't heavy enough, the latest twist in Sam McCall's tragic death has cast a dark shadow over Elizabeth Weber. The results of Sam's autopsy have sent shockwaves through the hospital, with digitalis, the same deadly drug responsible for her heart attack, being found in her system. This discovery has placed Elizabeth directly in the spotlight, as Sam's case and all her medications were handled under her watch. With Elizabeth at the helm as head nurse at General Hospital, the results have left many questioning her competence, and her career now hangs in the balance. Though Elizabeth is under suspicion, she knows in her heart that digitalis was never prescribed to Sam. Someone must have intentionally administered it, but who? This realization sparks a flame of determination in Elizabeth. Despite the mounting pressure and scrutiny, Elizabeth is resolute in clearing her name and finding the truth behind Sam's untimely death. She refuses to believe that she could have made such a grave mistake. But as the investigation unfolds, it becomes evident that this is far more than a case of human error, it's a deliberate act of malice. Lucky Spencer takes matters into his own hands. Lucky Spencer, ever the protector, refuses to sit idly by as Elizabeth's reputation and career are put at risk. His unwavering belief in her innocence drives him to take matters into his own hands, and he begins his own investigation into Sam's death. While the hospital staff and the authorities are focused on the autopsy and its implications, Lucky digs deeper, determined to find the person who is truly responsible for Sam's murder. His first course of action is to obtain the video surveillance footage from outside Sam's hospital room. This footage could hold the key to unraveling the mystery of how Sam came to be poisoned with digitalis. Knowing that the hospital's security system is notoriously tight, Lucky reaches out to Damian Spinelli, the tech genius who has proven time and again that no digital security is too complex for him to crack. Spinelli agrees to help, and together, they comb through hours of footage. What they uncover is nothing short of shocking. Someone was indeed lingering outside Sam's room on the day of her death, but who was it? The shocking discovery: Cyrus Renault's role in Sam's death? As the footage is reviewed, Lucky and Elizabeth are stunned by what they find. The mysterious figure seen lurking outside Sam's room is none other than Cyrus Renault. Known for his ruthless and manipulative ways, Cyrus has recently been acting in ways that suggest he may have a personal interest in Sam's death. Though his motivations remain murky, Lucky and Elizabeth begin to piece together a chilling theory: Cyrus may have been involved in more than just Sam's death, he might have orchestrated it for reasons known only to him. But why would Cyrus want Sam dead? What was his connection to the case, and why would he take such drastic measures? The truth is still unclear, but one thing is certain: Cyrus has been moving in the shadows, manipulating events for his own benefit. Could he have been responsible for slipping the deadly dose of digitalis into Sam's system, or was he merely a bystander in a much larger scheme? The more Lucky and Elizabeth dig, the more disturbing the connections between Cyrus and Sam's death appear to be. The explosive confrontation: Lucky versus Cyrus Renault. The tension reaches a boiling point as Lucky Spencer, armed with the evidence he's gathered, prepares to confront his uncle, Cyrus Renault. For years, Lucky has been conflicted about his relationship with Cyrus, whose criminal empire casts a long shadow over the family. But now, with everything on the line, Lucky can no longer avoid the inevitable. He must face Cyrus and demand answers. This confrontation promises to be explosive. The tension between the two has been building for years, and now, with the stakes higher than ever, it will finally come to a head. Lucky's loyalty to his family has been tested time and again, but this time, his dedication to justice and protecting Elizabeth will push him to his limits. What will happen when Lucky finally comes face to face with the man who may have been responsible for taking the life of someone he cared about? The fallout from this confrontation could change everything for Lucky, Elizabeth, and Cyrus forever. Could Elizabeth have made such a careless mistake? As the investigation deepens, one of the lingering questions remains: could Elizabeth Weber, a highly competent nurse with years of experience, have made such a careless mistake? The answer, according to her closest allies, is an emphatic no. Elizabeth's professional reputation has been built on her unwavering commitment to patient care, and the idea that she could have overlooked something as critical as Sam's medication seems inconceivable. However, the discovery of digitalis in Sam's system has left many wondering how such a grave error could have been made. While Elizabeth may not have been directly responsible, someone else clearly had a hand in what happened to Sam. The question is, who? As Elizabeth struggles to clear her name, she's forced to confront the possibility that someone within the hospital or someone with access to her patients may be working against her. The situation is complicated by the fact that Sam's death occurred under Elizabeth's watch, and no matter how hard she tries to prove her innocence, she can't escape the suspicion that haunts her every step. The unanswered questions: what really happened to Sam? As General Hospital fans are well aware, Sam McCall's death is no ordinary storyline. It is a web of deceit, betrayal, and hidden motives that threaten to ensnare everyone involved. From the suspicious autopsy results to the shocking involvement of Cyrus Renault, there are many unanswered questions surrounding Sam's untimely death. Did Elizabeth make a tragic mistake, or was someone else involved in her demise? Was it Cyrus who wanted Sam dead, or is there another player behind this mystery? As Lucky and Elizabeth work together to uncover the truth, they will face countless obstacles and confrontations. The answers they seek may be closer than they think, but the road to uncovering the full truth will be long and perilous. In the end, what really happened to Sam and who is truly responsible remains a mystery that will keep fans on the edge of their seats for weeks to come. In the wake of Ava Jerome's high-profile trial, the emotional fallout continues to reverberate, particularly for TJ and Molly. Their relationship, which had been built on trust and shared dreams, is now on the brink of unraveling. TJ, struggling to cope with the pain of losing the child he and Molly had been expecting, has placed the blame squarely on Christina Corinthos Davis. To him, Christina's involvement, whether intentional or not, has caused them an irreplaceable loss. His heartache and anger have driven him to urge Molly to take action, potentially pressing charges against Christina, the woman he once considered a close part of their family. Molly, however, is not as convinced as TJ that Christina should be held responsible. She sees the situation as a heartbreaking accident, an unintended consequence of a series of unfortunate events. For her, the thought of taking legal action against Christina feels like an impossible betrayal. As much as she loves TJ and wants to make him happy, there is a limit to what she is willing to do. This rift between them leaves Molly devastated, her tears a testament to the pain of being torn between the person she loves and the family loyalty that runs deeper than the tragedy itself. The confrontation is charged with emotion, and the division it causes is one that may take time, perhaps too much time, to heal. Lulu's escape, a heart-stopping reunion with Rocco. Meanwhile, across town, the situation involving Lulu Spencer is evolving in unexpected ways. Having awoken from her coma, Lulu finds herself in a state of shock, unable to grasp the full extent of the time she's lost. She had thought that her hospital stay was a brief moment in time, perhaps a few days of recovery from the stab wound she sustained during the violent explosion at the Floating Rib. But reality quickly sets in as she is greeted by Rocco Falconeri at the Quartermaine mansion, a young boy who is now almost unrecognizable to her. Rocco, who towers over her by at least 3 feet compared to when she last saw him, is the living proof of the time lost during her coma. With a warm smile, Lulu greets him with a playful "long time no see," though the words are tinged with a sadness that she can't quite articulate. The realization hits her hard: her time in the coma has been far longer than she ever imagined. The years of her life have been stolen, leaving her to play catch-up with the world that has moved on without her. Lulu's reunion with Rocco is joyful but also filled with an undercurrent of bittersweetness, as she comes to terms with the reality of her extended absence. Rocco, for his part, might just be the one to explain to Lulu how long she's actually been out of commission, further adding to the overwhelming flood of emotion she is already processing. Cyrus Renault's denial, the mystery behind Lulu's escape. At the heart of Lulu's recent escape from Turning Woods lies a chilling confrontation with Cyrus Renault. Laura, in a state of panic, rushes to Lucky Spencer, urging him to watch the footage from the facility. She insists, almost desperately, that Lulu would never have tried to escape unless she was in immediate danger. Lucky, although initially skeptical, is soon drawn into the mystery when he has a confrontation with Cyrus. The latter denies any knowledge of Lulu's actions, but Lucky, deep down, suspects that there's more to the story than Cyrus is letting on. Could Cyrus have had a hand in her escape, or was someone else pulling the strings? Lulu's recollection of events paints a different picture. She had woken up just in time to overhear Cyrus talking to a doctor about his plans to relocate her to a new facility in South Carolina. For Lulu, the memory is a flash of clarity amidst the fog of her coma, and it triggers a rush of negative emotions. She has bad memories of Cyrus from before her coma, memories that are clouded by the fear and manipulation he seemed to wield over her. The thought of being relocated, isolated from the people she knows and loves, was enough to push her into action. Her escape was not a mere act of rebellion, it was a desperate cry for freedom from the man who had already taken so much from her. Laura's panic, a mother's fear for her daughter. The tension escalates when Laura, in an absolute state of panic, realizes just how close Lulu came to being completely under Cyrus's control. Rushing to Lucky, Laura insists that the footage from Turning Woods proves her worst fears, that Lulu was in grave danger and had no other choice but to escape. For Laura, this is not just a matter of a daughter's attempt to break free, it's a fight for Lulu's survival. As a mother, Laura's instincts are to protect her child at all costs, and she fears that if Lulu had not acted when she did, the consequences could have been far worse. The protective instincts of both Laura and Lucky kick into overdrive as they realize that Lulu's safety may have been compromised in ways they hadn't anticipated. The family unites, Lulu's safety and the growing conspiracy. With the shocking footage and revelations surrounding Lulu's escape from Turning Woods, the Quartermaine mansion becomes a place of emotional reunions and relief. For now, Lulu is safe, and the immediate crisis has passed. The joy of her return is tangible, and Rocco's presence only deepens the sense of familial love and support that Lulu has longed for during her time in the coma. Yet, the relief is fleeting as new questions begin to arise. What was Cyrus really up to, and why was he so intent on having Lulu moved to another facility in South Carolina? Could his actions have been part of a larger, more dangerous plot? As the pieces of the puzzle begin to fall into place, Lucky and Laura are determined to uncover the truth behind Cyrus's motives. Was he simply trying to isolate Lulu, or was there something more sinister at play? The danger to Lulu may not have passed entirely, and the family must now prepare for whatever revelations are waiting around the corner. For Laura, Lucky, and even Rocco, the journey to understanding Lulu's escape and the forces that nearly kept her trapped in a nightmare is just beginning. The tension in Christina Corinthos Davis' heart continues to mount as she sits in her mother's home, grappling with the painful events that have unfolded in the courtroom. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, that's all Christina wants. She turns to Sonny Corinthos for the answers she desperately seeks. After being brought back to Alexis Davis's residence following the emotional turmoil at the courthouse, Christina is consumed by a pressing need. She demands Sonny be honest with her about the events that led to the loss of her child. Earlier that day, Christina had poured her heart out to her parents, emotionally overwhelmed by the constant strain of the trial. She had broken down in front of them, telling them that Ava Jerome should face serious consequences for what she believes is the direct cause of her baby's death. Christina is adamant that Ava's actions, specifically, the violent shove that sent her crashing through a window, are to blame. As she presses Sonny for the truth, she clings to her conviction that justice must prevail, but she can't shake the nagging fear that the jury might not see things her way. The courtroom drama is far from over, and Christina's fate and the fate of her pursuit for justice will hinge on the decision of the jury. As she waits for the verdict, every moment feels like an eternity. Jason's family struggles, torn between loyalty and responsibility. In the meantime, at the Quartermaine mansion, Jason Morgan's mind is in turmoil. After a series of difficult decisions, he and Dante Falconeri, along with the kids, had all agreed on the difficult choice to remain under the Quartermaine roof. This arrangement seemed like the best solution given the circumstances. However, Sam McCall was resolute in her opposition to the idea, concerned about separating Danny Morgan and Scout Quartermaine from one another, as well as from Rocco Falconeri. The children had all expressed their shared sentiment, making it clear that they wanted to stay together and remain in Port Charles. Scout, in particular, had confided in her father about her desire to stay put, a decision that Jason had initially supported. He had promised her that he would commute, coming back and forth to maintain the family unit. It was a moment of trust and commitment between father and daughter. But now, as the situation has evolved, Jason's stance has shifted dramatically. In an unexpected turn, Jason informs Sam that he will be moving into the Quartermaine mansion with Scout and that they will be leaving Port Charles. The reversal of this decision shakes the foundation of their relationship, especially as Jason appears to be breaking promises not only to his daughter, but also to Curtis Ashford, with whom he had once made a similar commitment. This shift in Jason's approach raises a crucial question: will this decision lead to greater division within his family, or will it be a temporary setback in an otherwise loving bond? Courtroom drama: Alexis and Rick face off amid family turmoil. Back at the courthouse, the courtroom remains in an electric, tense atmosphere as Alexis Davis and Rick Lansing face off. Rick, with his unyielding determination, had relentlessly grilled Christina during her cross-examination, causing her to become emotionally distressed. The weight of the situation proves too much for her, and she breaks down in tears, overwhelmed by the accusations being thrown her way. The pain of losing her baby still fresh, Christina is left questioning whether she will ever see justice served. In the midst of this turmoil, Alexis steps in, offering a stark counterpoint to Rick's aggressive line of questioning. Standing before the judge's bench, Alexis delivers a measured, yet resolute declaration: "We will simply have to agree to disagree," she states firmly. The words carry with them the finality of a decision that leaves little room for further debate, and a sense of resolution settles in the courtroom. The trial is momentarily paused for a break, while the jury retreats to deliberate on the case. The delay only adds to the uncertainty of the situation, leaving everyone wondering whether Ava Jerome, despite all the evidence and emotional testimony, will truly face any legal consequences for her actions. Christina's emotional cross-examination, the heart of the trial. Christina's cross-examination at the courthouse had been a difficult moment in the trial, one that she would never forget. The stress of the situation caused her to unravel emotionally, breaking down in front of her parents as the relentless questioning took its toll. Rick Lansing, with his sharp and calculated approach, seemed more intent on making a statement than on seeking the truth. His grilling of Christina led her to the breaking point, and as the tears flowed, it was clear that this was more than just a courtroom battle, it was a battle for her emotional well-being, and perhaps even her sense of self. Christina's belief that Ava was responsible for the tragic loss of her child fueled her emotions throughout the trial. For Christina, the truth was clear: Ava's violent actions were the catalyst for everything that followed. Her insistence on this belief fueled her desire for justice, and it became the focal point of the case. But with Rick's forceful questioning, and the looming uncertainty of the jury's deliberations, Christina found herself caught between a desire for truth and the overwhelming sense of helplessness that comes with being at the mercy of others' decisions. Will the jury rule in her favor? Or will Christina's fight for justice end in heartbreak? Gratitude for the return of legacy characters and bold new beginnings. As we gather around the table this Thanksgiving, there's so much to be thankful for in the soap opera world. I'm Roger Froilan, and one of the things I'm most grateful for this year is the return of the iconic legacy characters on General Hospital, GH. Characters like Jason Morgan and Lucky Spencer have brought a sense of nostalgia and excitement back to Port Charles. Their arrivals transport me back to the days when I first became a fan in the 1980s, when GH was in its prime and made an indelible impact on my life. These characters not only enrich the current storylines but also help keep the history of the show alive, reminding us of what makes soap operas such a unique and captivating genre. The beauty of soap operas, for me, is in their ability to reinvent themselves constantly while staying true to their core elements. Like comic books, soaps must adapt and evolve to remain relevant, introducing fresh twists and characters while preserving the essence that makes them beloved by audiences. For decades, GH and Days of Our Lives, Days, have blended intrigue, romance, and science fiction in ways that appeal to fans like myself who cherish both the fantastical and the deeply emotional moments. The fact that after so many years, these shows still captivate viewers is a testament to their staying power and creativity. This year, as always, I'm thankful for the joy that these shows continue to bring into our lives. A resurgence of romance and fresh chemistry. As we reflect on what has made 2024 such a compelling year for soaps, there's a palpable shift toward love stories that have captured the audience's heart. I'm Chanel Adams, and I'm especially thankful for the resurgence of romance in The Young and the Restless, YNR, and The Bold and the Beautiful, BNB. This year, YNR has given us sizzling new couples, like Kyle and Claire, and Billy and Sally, whose chemistry is undeniable. The development of these relationships adds an exciting new layer to the show, with their dynamics and potential journeys keeping viewers eagerly anticipating what will happen next. The sparks between Kyle and Claire, and the emotional depth between Billy and Sally, are making for some of the most engaging storylines on daytime television. Meanwhile, BNB has not been short on romance either. The show has introduced fresh love affairs that are adding both intrigue and excitement to the canvas. I'm particularly excited to see Will's relationship with Elektra unfold. Elektra's mysterious background and intriguing personality add a refreshing complexity to her character, and her dynamic with Will is proving to be one of the most interesting of the year. Another relationship to keep an eye on is Hope's newfound connection with Carter. Hope has had a tumultuous year, but finally, it seems like she's found someone who truly supports her. Their chemistry is palpable, and it's heartening to see Hope find happiness in a relationship after all that she's endured. These unexpected connections are what keep BNB feeling fresh and exciting, and I'm grateful that the show has placed such an emphasis on love stories that keep us guessing. Celebrating the bold new horizons of Beyond the Gates. In a year full of unexpected developments, one of the most exciting moments for soap fans has been the announcement of a brand new soap opera, Beyond the Gates. This is the first new soap to debut in 25 years, and the anticipation surrounding it is palpable. I'm Rachel Dillon, editor-in-chief of Soap Hub, and I couldn't be more thrilled about the upcoming launch. Beyond the Gates promises to bring a fresh perspective to daytime drama, with a fantastic cast and a stellar writer's room that has soap fans buzzing with excitement. The idea of expanding the soap opera world from 4 to 5 shows is groundbreaking, and it's a testament to the enduring appeal of the genre. As the first new show in such a long time, Beyond the Gates holds the potential to redefine the soap opera experience for a new generation of viewers. I'm counting down the days until I can watch from the very first episode. Beyond the excitement surrounding Beyond the Gates, I'm also grateful for the continued evolution of the soap world. New characters, bold storylines, and unexpected twists are keeping soap fans on the edge of their seats, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for this genre. It's not every day that we see a brand new soap hit the airwaves, and I'm eager to see how this new show fits into the broader tapestry of daytime drama. Whether it will carry the torch for classic soap storytelling or introduce entirely new elements remains to be seen, but I have high hopes for what's to come. Reflecting on farewells and beautiful send-offs. The emotional weight of 2024 has also been marked by bittersweet farewells. I'm Tina Charles, and as much as I've rejoiced in the new beginnings, I'm also deeply grateful for the beautiful send-offs given to those who passed away this year on Days of Our Lives, days. The loss of beloved characters like Bill Hayes and Drake Hodgson has left a void in Salem, but the manner in which their exits were handled was a testament to the writer's ability to honor their legacies. These moments of reflection and tribute remind us of the powerful role that soap operas play in our lives, bringing us into the homes and hearts of characters who often feel like family. Though it's hard to say goodbye, I'm thankful for the emotional depth that these exits brought to the canvas and the opportunity to celebrate the lives of these iconic actors and their characters. The return of Port Charles's prodigals. At General Hospital, GH, 2024 has been a year full of much-needed reunions. Jason, Lucky, Lucas, Lulu, Holly, and even Morgan have made their highly anticipated returns to Port Charles, and these moments have added an exciting energy to the show. I'm Ashley Amber, senior writer at Soap Hub, and one of the things I'm most thankful for is the return of these legacy characters, especially Jason and Lucky. Their arrivals have created a sense of nostalgia and connection, reminding longtime fans of the late 2000s when GH was at the height of its drama. For those of us who remember the earlier years, their returns are a sweet reminder of how these characters shaped the fabric of Port Charles. But it's not just about nostalgia, these returns have sparked new storylines and dynamics. The complexities of their relationships with each other, as well as with new characters, have brought fresh layers to the show. The emotional depth and history these characters carry with them are integral to the ongoing narrative, making their presence on the show both meaningful and exciting. As GH continues to thrive, it's clear that the return of these characters has injected a new vibrancy into the show that's leaving fans eagerly awaiting what's next. A year for villains and unexpected twists. Finally, we can't forget the villains who have kept us on the edge of our seats this year. I'm Rachel Dillon, and I'm thrilled by the continued rise of iconic villains like Sheila Carter and Luna on The Bold and the Beautiful. These characters bring an irresistible edge to the show, reminding us that sometimes the bad guys are just as captivating as the heroes. Meanwhile, The Young and the Restless has had its own share of villains, with the shocking return of Cameron, whose reappearance has sent ripples through Genoa City. And as if that weren't enough, fans have been delighted by the return of Jordan and Ian, adding even more intrigue to the already complicated dynamics in town. On GH, the return of so many familiar faces has reignited storylines that have long been simmering beneath the surface. Morgan's return, in particular, has opened up new possibilities for the future of Port Charles, while also raising questions about how his absence has impacted the lives of those who remained behind.